हरे कृष्णा। श्रीला गुरुदेव की मधुर स्मृति कार्यक्रम में आप सभी का स्वागत है। I welcome all of you to this program Fond Memories of Srila Gurudev. And today I am in America near New York City in Bhakt Bandhav Dham, Love and Serve as it is named. A very beautiful place. And with me I have Malini Didi and her husband Jagdish Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna. श्रीला गुरुदेव की मधुर स्मृति कार्यक्रम में आप सभी का स्वागत है। I welcome all of you to this program Fond Memories of Srila. Sorry for that. So first we are going to hear some kirtan from Didi and Prabhu ji. Then I will give a small introduction for them, and then we'll hear about their sweet memories with Srila Gurudev. Also, we'll like to hear about how they are serving in this beautiful temple. Gurudev's heart is here in form of deities, very nicely manifested here. We will hear about that also, and also about their journey with Srila Gurudev, how they came in contact with devotees and Srila Gurudev, and how they are blessed every day, every month, every year by his grace, and they are able to do their seva so nicely. Dandavat Pranam Didi, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Welcome on the program.
Dandavat Pranam. Yes, my husband is here also.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Srila Gurudeva ki jai. We'll
Also before I start the program, I would like to say that Hindi translation is available. आप सभी को इसका हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन अनुवाद मिल जाएगा। थोड़ी देर बाद मैं इसका लिंक शेयर करूंगा इसी कार्यक्रम के ऊपर मैसेज में, और अपने ग्रुप पे भी दे दूंगा। जो लोग इसको हिंदी में सुनना चाहते हैं वो लोग वहां पे सुन सकते हैं। धन्यवाद। Yes, Didi, you can start now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will sing Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
Sure.
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo e dase Trinapeksha Yatihina Kripa Bindu Diya Karo e dase Trinapeksha Yatihina Sakala Sahane Bal Diya Karo Sakala Sahane Bal Diya Karo Nijamane Spriyahina
Nijamane Spriyahina
Nijamane Spriyahina
Nijamane Spriyahina
Sakale Samana Korite Shakati Dehonata Jata Jata
Sakale Samana Korite Shakati Dehonata Jata Jata
Tabito Gaibo Harinama Sukhe
Tabito Gaibo Harinama Sukhe
Aparada Habehata
Aparada Habehata
Aparada Habehata
Aparade Habehata
Kabehe no kripa labhiyaye jaan kritartha hoi benata
Kabehe no kripa labhiyaye jaan kritartha hoi venata
Shakti buddhihin ami ati din
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 Karo more atma satha
Koro more agma sata
Karo more atma satha
atmasata.
योग्यत विचरे किछु नहीं पाए तुम्हारा करुण सारा योग्यत
विचरे किछु नहीं पाए
तुम्हारा करुणा
सार.
ओ करुणा न होले कांदिया कांदिया
करुणा न होइले कांदिया कांदिया.
करुणा न होले कांदिया कांदिया
करुणा न होइले कांदिया कांदिया.
प्राण न राखिबो
प्राण न राखिब.
प्राण न राखिबो
प्राण न राखिब.
गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणापेक्षायति
गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणापेक्षायति.
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा
गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय
जय
गुरुदेव.
जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव
जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव.
श्री गुरुदेव की जय
Thank you, Didi, Prabhuji, for singing in such a sweet voice and very beautiful bhav and such a nice kirtan about Srila Gurudev. Today we are really very fortunate to have amongst us a very accomplished couple, devotees, and who have been associated with bhajan for a very, very long time. Sripad Jagdish Prabhuji and his wife Srimati Malini Didi in Bhakt Bandhav Temple in New York, near New York City. I'm also very fortunate to be here among them and receive their sweet association. We had a lovely program this morning in the temple. So beautiful. All the Gurudev's bhav, mood were there. I was very happy to be part of it. I do not know them personally very well. Today is the first time I met them personally, but I'm very much touched by their presence and by their bhajan. So first I will say some words about Malini Didi. She comes from a family of devotees. Her father, her grandmother, from 2-3 generations, everybody is a devotee. And her grandmother, Subuddhi Mataji, she was a disciple. She is a disciple of Pujapad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ji. And I had a good fortune of meeting her personally in Toronto many years back. And her father is Sripad Gaurasundar Prabhu, who grew up seeing Srila Prabhupada living in the temple in the early days of Hare Krishna movement in the West. So he also had a very good association of Swami Prabhupada. And they were the first Indian family to join in Toronto. Now we have a big temple, ISKCON temple in Toronto, and Mataji was heading the temple for many, many years. And Srimati Malini Didi also has a similar upbringing to her father, growing up in ISKCON Toronto temple with her grandmother and going to Gurukul in Los Angeles. She first met Srila Gurudev when she was 7 in 2000. So you can see from her childhood only she is having the association of Srila Gurudev. Very, very fortunate indeed. Very few people are able to get this kind of association and Sangha. So in 2000, she met Gurudev in the New Braj with her father, Gaurasundar Prabhu. She finally took Harinam and Diksha in June 2006. So today we are going to first hear from her, and then we'll hear from her husband, Sripad Jagdish Prabhu. I'll speak about him when she finishes and he starts, then I'll speak about him. So Didi, I offer my Damrit pranams to you once again and welcome to this program. You can speak your heart out There is no time limit. Nobody's going to stop you or ring a bell or kartal in between. So you can say what you like, how you came, how your grandmother gave you this path, how your father guided you, how Srila Gurudev and other Vaishnavas guided you, and how you're able to run this such a beautiful property, beautiful temple of Bhakta Bandhav in near the New York City. All amazing things you're doing. We want to hear about everything.
You are too kind, Prabhuji, for that introduction and your kindness, your kind words. I'm so sorry that I cannot speak Hindi fluently. थोड़ी बोल सकती हूँ लेकिन like I पूरा नहीं. So I will speak in
आप बीच
English.
बीच में थोड़ा थोड़ा बोलते रहेंगे, अच्छा रहेगा.
Okay, ठीक है. मैं कोशिश करती हूँ. What can I say? So, like you said, in the beginning of my life, I was already in a temple environment around devotees, around Srila Prabhupada's family in the West. And, you know, growing up, I'm always absorbed in seeing drama plays, seeing the artis, eating Mahaprasad, and being part of all the festivals and getting many sanskars.
Sorry, I want to say one thing. I forgot to say one thing. When she said drama, I remembered she's expert dancer. I think Bharatnatyam and many arts she knows. She's expert singer. She plays a lot of instruments. So she's fully in all the art forms to serve Krishna. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was, you know, growing up, I loved all of these things of Krishna consciousness. I thank my grandmother for taking me to, you know, the Dham at a very young age, like 3 years old, and being there many times. But still, you know, to meet a Rasik Vaishnav personally is something that you cannot compare it. You might be doing bhakti for millions of lifetimes, but when you meet a Rasik Vaishnav, your whole entire existence changes. So when I was 6 or 7 years old, I think 7 or 8 in 2000, I was with my father in Los Angeles, and he had heard about our Gurudev, Srila Gurudev. And everyone said, oh, you must meet him. He's a good sadhu, great sadhu, like Srila Prabhupada. And my father, in his heart, Srila Prabhupada was his everything, because he had met him personally and dedicated his life. And we joined the temple, my grandmother, like you said in the introduction. So for him, of course, we always respect all sadhus. But he didn't know that Gurudev would take his heart and mine and everyone else in the family. So when I was 7, we went up to New Braj. New Braj is in the mountains about 4 hours north of Los Angeles. And back then there was very little GPS. There was maybe MapQuest, and you had to print out directions. It was very difficult to even find this place in the middle of nowhere. You can imagine Gurudev going up these windy roads up the mountain very far away. So we were looking and it was dark, and our directions, okay, go left, go right, and we got completely lost. And luckily we found one home. It was a devotee home. And they said, oh, it's the other way, go this other way. And we finally made it to New Braj. Then the next day we went to take darshan of Srila Gurudev for the first time. And for me, I was just a kid. I had no idea. All I heard, I kept hearing, he's like Srila Prabhupada, he's like Srila Prabhupada. But I was just ignorant, just a child, foolish, don't know anything. So I paid pranam and I sat in the back corner of the room. And my father spoke with Srila Gurudev, asking him advice and sharing his life and things like that. I don't quite remember what he spoke about. It was personal. Because it was a private darshan. But throughout the darshan, Srila Gurudev kept looking at me, and he kept glancing, and with his laser blue eyes, piercing me, he kept looking at me. And I was very shy. Sharamati thi. It's like, what is he looking at? I didn't want to look back. I was very shy. But he kept looking very seriously into my eyes. After that, I played, I went with my friends. I was just, you know, being a kid. I didn't go to Harikatha. I was just running around. And after that, I saw Srila Gurudev one more time when I was a child for like 10 minutes when he was going to the airport. After that, it was a very long time before I saw Srila Gurudev again, actually, because I had moved back to ISKCON Toronto and lived with my grandmother. And there was no association of Gurudev Sangha there at that time. And again, I was just a child. But you see the potency of Guru's glance. Guru chooses you, you don't choose Guru. He had already planted the seed and I did not realize it at that time. But going back to Toronto, I was doing many services with my grandmother, drama plays, many puppet shows. We were doing many different fun sevas and festivals. And at that time, I started having a desire in my heart. What is all of this about? Okay, what is actually bhakti? What is the goal of all of these activities? I enjoy these things, but really what is the deep essence? I didn't understand. And so some desire to understand that was coming in my heart. And very quickly after that, 2 disciples of Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, they ended up staying at our house for several months. And they started preaching to me and speaking many Harikathas and watching videos of Gaur Govinda Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev. And every day we would hear Harikatha, every day, 2-3 hours a day. They were so kind and merciful to me, Bhadra Mataji and Raghava Prabhu. And slowly that idea that one must take shelter of Guru that came very clear to me. I never understood that I had to take shelter of Guru. Before I felt, oh, Prabhupada is there and I don't need to have initiation. It wasn't so clear to me. But at that time, it became very clear. And I said, okay, I should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master and continue this path. And only by the mercy of Shri Guru can I attain this Braj Bhav, this Braja Bhakti. And I was reading Srila Gurudev's classes a lot at that time. And one day it hit me really hard. Oh, Gurudev, he is my Guru. There are many acharyas, but Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj is my Gurudev. And I made that conviction in my heart. And only a few days later, my father called me. He was in Los Angeles. He called me and he says, Malini, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj is going to be staying at our house in 2 months. So I screamed. I was so happy. And I told my grandmother I'm leaving. And I'm not getting into details of the whole story, but of course, it wasn't easy. My grandmother was a temple president at the time in ISKCON. And for me to be associating with Srila Gurudev's books and reading and all of these things, that was not very looked nicely upon. And so I stopped eating prasad there. I was very hardcore. I was only 13. I was just being a teenager, but also trying to, go to Gurudev. So I packed my bags and I went back to Los Angeles. And in 2 months after that, Srila Gurudev came to Los Angeles in 2006, and he stayed at our house for a few days. It was like the sun shining and illuminating and removing all darkness. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. Even though I had met him before, now I was finally meeting him with the understanding that he was the one. He was my Guru. And he was so sweet, just like a father to me, so much, because I was still young, very young. And he's always like a father to everyone. That was his mood, especially to his daughters, always being so encouraging and sweet. I remember we were preparing everything and we were so tired. My friend and I, Radhika, she's my age. She's also a very good kirtaniya and dancer. We fell asleep outside in the backyard on the veranda. We were so tired. And Srila Gurudev, we did Guru Puja, everything was so nice, and then he went in his room. So then we slept. We were so tired, we slept. Then I woke up. It was about 10:30 in the morning. I woke up and I saw Srila Gurudev right there, walking back and forth, chanting in the backyard, in the veranda. And I said, Radhika, get up. Gurudev is right here. And he was chanting quietly alone and the sun was shining on him. and his absorption in Harinam was so beautiful to watch. So just so nice to be in his presence. And then he saw me and Radhika and he said, "Oh, you're sleeping out here. Rather, I should sleep out here and you
Wow.
should come inside." This was his humility and sweetness. Of course, I mean, we're Gurudev, no, of course not. We're not coming inside. And then he was joking. He says, "My brahmachari should be outside. You should come inside." And so many sweet exchanges, you know, it was so nice. And outside we had a big couch and Gurudev would sit there and many devotees would come for darshan. And mostly I didn't speak so much with Gurudev, but I watched him with all the devotees and how he gave so much encouragement and instruction and how he was very serious about Los Angeles temple. We had the Rose Temple and he loved it so much. And at that time it was falling apart. We were going to lose the building. And he says, "All my devotees, I want you to support the temple. Don't make it leave our hands, our property." So this goes to show you, because many devotees of Srila Gurudev say that Gurudev was not into building temples. And this is true to some extent. When Srila Gurudev came to the West, he said, "I'm not interested in building temples. I want you to build a temple in your heart." He wants to build that because many temples were already established by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But still, when Gurudev had this temple in Los Angeles, it was his pride and joy. He was so, so happy about it. And we were very close to the temple. That's why we had the fortune of hosting him, because he wanted to visit the temple and see the devotees, all their seva. So this was his pride and joy, and we'll talk about it later, but this is why we're also here starting a center for Gurudev's legacy and his teachings and Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Varga, that, you know, so that this Harikatha and his mood can be preserved and people can have a place to learn about him. So yeah. What else? Yeah, he came to our house like three times, I think. 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2010. Actually, four
This was in
times.
Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, in Los Angeles. He would stop there from the airport. We were very close to the airport, and then he would go to New Bridge after a few days in Los Angeles. And there was many sweet exchanges. I remember one time it was very cold, and Srila Gurudev said was like, "Thanda, bahut thanda," very cold. And so he was asking us to bake a cake. He says, "Please, I want some nice cake you can bake, and make sure it doesn't have too much sugar, no sugar," because he couldn't have sugar in his diet. And just telling us, you know, even asking me, "What is pure bhakti?" And I would say, devotional service with love. He says, "No, anya bilashita shunyam, jnana karmadhyanavritam, anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama." You should learn all of these things very seriously. He told me this, even at a young age, always training everyone to know what is that essence. That was my question before I had met him. I mean, before I had taken initiation, I wanted to know what this essence is. Gurudev, at the very beginning, it's his first instruction to me, is I should learn that essence. What else? Oh, I asked him if I had, sorry, Prabhu, yes.
No, you go ahead. I'll ask you if you stop, then I'll ask you.
Okay. I asked him also, "Oh, is there something I can do for you? Like some seva, something I wanted to have like a personal instruction." And he says, "You should chant and remember." And he told this to many devotees. At first, I thought it was, "Oh, I don't get a personal instruction. I wanted something special." But actually, chanting and remembering is the highest instruction that we can get. This is his manobishta. He wants us to chant and remember with those moods that he carries. This is an eternal seva to do. It's not an easy task to chant and remember. So he would tell me that also. And actually, I missed the whole part I got initiated. Initiation was in our backyard in that same area on the couch. and I took Harinam and Diksha at the same time. But just seeing Gurudev with his hands, because I'm a dancer, I love all mudras and abhinaya, all the facial expressions. He would talk about Krishna and put his hands up like this, and with his eyes, sidelong glance, explaining the beautiful scene of Vrindavan, all the waves of the Yamuna. I was completely lost in him. He was so just took my whole mind and energy and heart, and I was weeping so much.
Sorry.
I was no, it's okay. I was weeping so much. I didn't know why. I was like, why am I crying so much? I was crying. My whole sari was wet, and I was sweating so much. And I realized it was that feeling that finally I was with someone who actually saw me and could help me, take me to Krishna. It was that feeling of just uncontrollable happiness and crying, like just crying. It was overwhelming. It was very overwhelming to be in his presence. Most of the time I couldn't say anything because I was speechless in front of Gurudev most of the time. Yeah, so many things that happen in our house. I don't know if you have any questions.
I just want to know how many dramas you did in front of Srila Gurudev.
Oh,
What kind of performances? How many of them?
Oh, I wish I did more because I was still young, so I didn't do too many with him. I did many in ISKCON, but I didn't do so many with him. But I did do in Houston, 2009. Srila Gurudev went to Houston, and we did a Gopi Geet play.
Wow.
And all the gopis, we had each gopi sang her verse from Gopi Geet and also spoke in English, explaining the verse and dialogue. And Srila Gurudev was weeping and so happy about this drama play. He was so happy, and then he pointed to us and he told us which gopi we were. Because in Gopi Geet doesn't have any name. It doesn't say this is Vishaka, this is Lalita. But Gurudev saw our moods in the play and he told us, you're Lalita, you're Tunga Vidya, you're Champakalata. He told me, I'm Vishaka.
Wow.
And it's funny because my line in my dialogue, I decided I didn't want to be too angry at Krishna because the other gopi was very angry at Krishna before me. So I was a little more shanti, not so upset. So Vishaka's mood is like that. She is more friendly with Krishna.
Do you have a video of that, maybe?
Yes, it's on YouTube. If you type in 2009 Houston Gopi Geet drama, it's there. And we did that drama play for Gurudev. And I also was a cowherd boy in some play. I forget what Leela it was. I think it was Kalia serpent. It had many Leelas of Krishna. And I was a cowherd boy in that. And finally, I only got to dance for Srila Gurudev once in 2010, his last year in New Braj. And I danced Jadi Gauranga Nahito, this bhajan by Narhari Sarkar Thakur. If Gauranga Mahaprabhu would not have come, what would we have done? We wouldn't know about Madhurya Ras and this beautiful Braja Leela as Srila Gurudev has taught it. We wouldn't know without Mahaprabhu. So I danced this in front of Srila Gurudev, and he told my father, oh, she's learned very well. She's learned dance very well. And he encouraged me. He liked the dancing. So I feel like in my life, any success in dance or drama is because he saw with his own eyes and he gave some blessing that I can share his glories through that, and Radha Krishna Leela and Mahaprabhu's Leela through that. So
Gurudev was very, very rasik. He loved dancing, dramas, music, and he would often correct people also who will not sing correctly or who's like maybe I don't know music much, but he would always correct how to use harmonium, how to use kartal, how
yes,
to do even drama also he will correct.
Yes, he would correct in the drama. Yes, I know my husband has a story like that.
Okay, good, good.
I don't know if he will tell it today, but yes, Gurudev was very particular. He didn't always say, "Oh, very good job." You know, he was always wanting to make sure that the Siddhanta was correct. But he was very encouraging of me. I'll just say one more thing. My last time with him was in 2010 in California after the New Braj festival. So after I did that dance performance, he took some rest in someone's home, and many devotees were not allowed to go. It was just private before he would go to Italy. And I was there, and I was with Radhika again, my friend, and she was encouraging me. She says, Gurudev likes shlokas, especially when children say shlokas to him. He was very happy. So she said, okay, quickly learn a shloka and we'll tell Gurudev a shloka. And it was Father's Day. And in America, we celebrate Father's Day. And even in New Braj, we would always, whenever it was Father's Day, all the girls would make Gurudev's room really beautiful and write cards and give gifts and wait for him after the morning walk. He would come. And he was always very happy. He says, oh, Father's Day is only for daughters to celebrate? He said, no, everyone can celebrate Father's Day. He says, oh, but nobody else, the boys, they're not celebrating. He says, oh, I love my daughters more than my sons. And of course, the sons would get very upset hearing that.
No, but
So-
this is a fact. He always said my daughters should preach like lions, and they are my daughters. He always loved his daughters more. Everybody knows it.
Yeah. And I always felt that with Srila Gurudev, he had equal vision to everyone. Whether someone was sannyasi or someone was a little child, he encouraged them or befriended them equally. Meaning, of course, sannyasi, he is going to speak differently than a child, but he would give time to each of them with so much love. He wouldn't say, oh, the kid is not important. I'll only speak with the big people. He was never like that. And so with me, even just a baby, a kid, so much encouragement. He said, you should preach my mission and learn everything nicely. Because I had asked him in the airport, I said, I'm about to start university. I know it will be very busy. So how will I still continue to do sadhana? How will I stay connected? He says, go to university, read my books, understand everything, and then preach my mission around the world. So to everyone, he gave this, in not maybe directly to everyone, but he wanted everyone to become qualified. Lady, man, child, everybody to learn his mood.
So you
And
got
just-
this personal instruction from him to read his books and preach around the world.
Yeah, I did. I even forgot I did. I saw it in the morning walk book. I said, oh yeah, Gurudev told me that. I forgot.
So chanting and remembering plus reading his books and preaching. So you have a lot of instructions from him.
A lot of instructions. Yeah, a lot.
Yes.
Anyway, the last time, that last day, that Father's Day that I saw him, it was private. There weren't many daughters around, only me and Radhika. So we made some garlands and we gave to Gurudev and did some Guru Puja with, ghee lamp and incense, and we sang to him. And we tried to recite our shloka. And Radhika said her shloka very nicely. And when it was my turn, I completely forgot. Just no memory of what the shloka was. And Gurudev began to laugh, the big chuckle with his whole body moving. And then he was sitting and he was banging his feet on the ground. And he said, you dance? And this is your verse.
Oh,
So he again encouraged me with the dancing, and he was laughing and having a good time. So yeah. And then that same day, he asked me if I can make idli. He loves idli. But I didn't know how to make. He was very sad. I didn't know how to make idli. I'm trying to learn how to make it. Someday I hope to make it for him. But yeah.
It's very, very easy than dancing, making idli.
Well, maybe.
My wife can teach you, she knows.
Please, I need to learn properly. Gurudev with dokla, dal puri, he loves so many things. I always loved seeing all the sevaks in the kitchen and making all of Gurudev's favorite preps. And because you can see all the disciples, their love in the preps. I loved always being in the kitchen in my home when seeing the devotees cook, Brinda Didi, Madha Maharaj, just seeing, even my grandmother, she made parantas for Gurudev. Gurudev loved that. Mhm.
So have you been with him on the parikramas or festivals like that in India?
Yeah, unfortunately, because of school and just my circumstances and lack of sukriti, I didn't get to go on Brajmandal Parikrama with him. But I went to Navadvip Parikrama once in 2008 with the new temple, Keshavji Gaudiya Math, being installed, with the Didis going into the temple. So I went there and he was so happy to see me because I didn't go with my father or mother, anybody. I went with Radhika, my friend, and her mother. And when he saw me, he said, "You have come." He was so happy because I was worried, oh, I'm missing school and my parents are not very happy that I'm going. So, but I went anyway. And so he was showing me that anybody making a little endeavor to come to parikrama, he's so happy with. So yeah, he was very happy. And I also lost my japa mala that parikrama in
Okay.
during Abhishek, Gaur Purnima, they're bathing Mahaprabhu and it's slippery and everyone's dancing, so many Bengali devotees. And then I look down and my japa mala is gone, completely gone. So I'm crying, I can't find it. And so I have to go see Gurudev and tell him that I don't have my japa mala. And he said, oh, before that, another girl came and she also lost her japa mala. And so when Gurudev saw her, he was very angry and he took the japa and like threw it at her. He just told her to go. So I was very, I was
Nervous.
scared and nervous to now tell him, Gurudev, I've also lost my beads. She was my age also. She was similar age. And so I told him, oh, Gurudev, I lost my beads. And he said, oh, you should not lose your beads. And then he sat and he chanted on the beads for 5 minutes.
Wow.
And he was in the sunlight, sitting in the pink building. If devotees know that, that's a few houses away from the temple. And he was chanting and chanting and chanting and looking out in the window. And then he gave me the beads. So I realized that he knew I could not understand his mercy in chastisement. I would just cry and be really sad. I wasn't ready to receive proper chastisement, so I saw her getting chastised. And so he was very kind to me. I understood it was not good to do that.
I see it as Gurudev taught you something very special. And he made extra effort to give you 5 minutes of chanting. And you were watching him while he was chanting?
Yes, I was sitting right next to him. It was so nice.
And he was looking at you or what? Looking outside?
No, he was looking at the window and just, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting.
Not
And
many
he wasn't doing each bead. He was like pushing the mala like this and chanting. It was very interesting. I was just watching. Yeah.
I think he gave you some special mercy.
I hope so. I need the extra mercy, not just the regular mercy.
Everybody cannot hold his mercy. He is ready to give everything, but we have very small pots with us.
That's the problem.
Maybe you had a big one, so he could give more mercy to you. Because people are not able to hold his mercy.
Yeah, he has unending mercy. But really, the last thing I will say with Srila Gurudev is even seeing him and being with him, which was always so amazing, I never understood his glories, really. And I still don't understand his glories to the real extent. But anything I know about Srila Gurudev, all the service that I've been able to be engaged in is because of Vaishnav's mercy. And really, we cannot understand Guru without Vaishnavs. So I'm indebted to all the Vaishnavs who have helped me in my path to come closer to Gurudev and serve him, because I cannot fulfill his instructions to me on my own. It is only the mercy of the Vaishnavs that are training me and teaching me with their kindness that I can fulfill what he's asked of me. So really, I want to say that we spend a lot of time with Sripad Premananda Prabhu especially, and he's helped us immensely. I have no words to describe how he's helped me come closer to Gurudev. Yeah.
So nice. It was really, really very nice. I had noted down a lot of gems which you have spoken today, but I'm not going to talk about them right now. First, I'm going to hear what Jagdish Prabhu has to say.
Yes.
And I would also like to see your drama if you can find out and share on the screen at the end of the program. Is it
Sure.
possible?
Okay.
Yeah. It may not be too long, but maybe 5 minutes you can share.
Oh, you want me to share like a photo or what?
No, yeah, if you have photo with Gurudev, it will be very nice. Yes, we can go through the memories. Or if you have some videos like your drama you did with Gurudev, we can talk about it also at the end of the program. While Prabhuji is speaking, you can find them, and by the end you can share your screen.
Okay, I'll try. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad Pranam.
So now we have with us Sripad Jagdish Prabhu,
Thank you too
also
much.
very, very senior devotee, and looking after this temple at Bhakta Bandhav, where I am presently with him. And Jagdish Prabhuji received his first Krishna conscious book in 1993, long time back. He was a devotee for a few years in ISKCON before he met Gurudev in 2001 and took initiation in Eugene, Oregon on May 1st. From there, he traveled with Srila Gurudev tour across the US by mercy of the devotees. After the tour, he joined Srila Gurudev's temple in San Diego, California. Soon after this, the temple devotees made a trip to Los Angeles to hear Harikatha from Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj. By the mercy of the temple president Jagan Mohan Prabhu, he was sent to India for Vraj Mandal Parikrama after Kartik Vat had finished. When Srila Gurudev had his brahmacharis trained in Mathura, Keshavji Gaudi Math and Durvasa Ashram, it was there that Sripad Jagdish Prabhu took shelter of his Siksha Guru Sripad Premanand Prabhuji, known to most as Prabhuji. Yes, still is probably known to most as Prabhuji. Jagdish Prabhuji, following Srila Gurudev's instruction, if anyone wants to serve as Gurudev, you should try and learn from Premanand how he is serving. If you follow Premanand Prabhu's character, Bhakti, Shraddha, his service to Gurudev, then you can also be a Vaishnava. Very true. I like to offer my Dandavat Pranams to Sripad Premanand Prabhu also. I remember him very close to Srila Gurudev, and he used to love everyone. And he used to give everyone so much to eat. I remember in the beginning, around 92, 93, we used to go to that Mathura temple, and his room was upstairs. Gurudev was on the first floor. And most people will go to his room and then sit there, and he will offer them something to eat, everybody, sweets or something else. And he's always into service. His service is unparalleled. Even in Braj Mandal Parikrama, Navdeep Parikrama, he is always doing service. I never saw him with Parikrama party anytime, because he will be cooking his parikars. Prabhuji is one of them. Would be cooking or doing some service behind the scene, never to be seen in the front. Even now, you don't see Premanand Prabhu anywhere in the front. Always serving from behind, always be taking a very humble position, and always setting example how to serve. And I remember Gurudev, because he doesn't come out on the last day of Parikrama, one of the Braj Mandal Parikramas, he got Premanand Prabhu in his hands like this, in his arms. And then probably he spoke those words, Prabhuji's, that if you want to know how to do service, you should learn from him how you should serve. So I offer my pranams to him also, and beg for his mercy that I can get a drop of his service mood to Vaishnavas, to Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. And I'm offering my pranams to Jagdish Prabhuji also, and welcome him on the program. And we want to hear, you have a lot of experience, Prabhuji, from 1993. You have not many years you're devoted to bhajan. So we like to hear a lot of things from you, how everything happened, how in San Diego temple, and you have mercy of Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj Ji's disciples also. So you have mercy from a lot of Mahabhagavats. So we would like to know how you met Gurudev, what happened, how he gave mercy, how Prabhuji is guiding you to come close to Srila Gurudev, and how you're wonderfully following his mood. I saw Prabhuji do the whole program this morning, lead the kirtan and everything. It was really, really, really beautiful, heart touching. And I could remember Gurudev all throughout. I was sitting there. It was really wonderful to be here. Start.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, you asked how I became a devotee. So I got my first book in 1993 on the street in Washington, D.C. from an ISKCON devotee. It was Nectar of Instruction, and I got a Jagannath sticker. Everyone gets that Jagannath sticker, smile.
Yeah.
And so I had that book for some time, and I read the book, but I couldn't understand. And I did a school project for English class. I wrote a essay on the Nectar of Instruction by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I gave a lecture to the class. But I had no idea. I had no idea who is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, what is Hare Krishna, what is Guru, what is disciple, Krishna, nothing. But anyway, I gave a nice lecture. But later, in my travels around the United States, I saw that book in one of my new friends' car. And he said, "You have read this book?" And I said, "Yeah, I've read that book, but I didn't understand." He said, "Maybe you will understand this book." And he gave me Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So then I read Bhagavad Gita as it is, and I liked it very much. So then I joined ISKCON, and I was in ISKCON for some time. And in ISKCON, I prayed to Srila Prabhupada. After finishing my 16 rounds, after Mangalarti, I prayed to Srila Prabhupada that I want a pure devotee guru. And I gave full sastan dandavats, and I prayed, "Srila Prabhupada, please give me a guru like you." Who knows what would happen? Soon after that, I left ISKCON and went back to my home in Oregon. And 1 month later, Srila Narayan Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, came to my town. I went to the program, and immediately upon seeing Srila Gurudev and meeting the devotees, I knew I was home. So the devotees pushed me to take initiation, and I was happy to oblige. So I took initiation, and just like Malini, when I entered the room, I had the same feeling. Now Gurudev is someone who can take care of me, who has my best interests at heart, and who can help. So I took initiation, and then the devotees asked me, "What will you do now that you are initiated?" I said, "I don't know." They said, "Come with us." So I went with the devotees, and I left my home, I left my bed, I left.
How old were you, Prabhuji, then?
I was 24.
Wow. So you left your home at the age of 24.
Yes. Well, this was my second home. After leaving my parents, this was my home. So then I left my bed. I left all of my musical instruments. Many things I left behind. All of my sporting equipment.
Oh, what all equipments you had? What musical instruments and sporting instruments?
I had guitar, drum kit, electric guitar, sitar. I had a sitar,
Oh, wow.
tabla, violin, saxophone,
Wow.
keyboard.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So you play all of that?
Yeah, and then what is this one?
Maraca?
Damru.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damaru.
Damaru.
Damru.
Yes.
Shivji's Damru.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I had many sounds. And then I left all that. I left my surfboard, my snowboard, my skis, my tennis racket, my baseball bat, my frisbee. I left it.
Wow. So you are a full sports person and a musician, both
Yeah.
together.
I left
Actually,
all
it's a
of
very rare combination to find personalities which have interest in sports and music together.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I also left my computer. I left my computer behind. So I went with the devotees. Then I got a message when I was with the devotees. After I left and traveled with Srila Gurudeva, a message came from that house saying, "Where have you gone? You have disappeared and all your things are here." So I sent a message back. "You can have all of my things. Take it. I am now a devotee of Krishna. I have Krishna and I don't need these things." So they are astonished. They were very astonished to hear that. Because everyone's so attached to everything. But I wanted to be attached to Srila Gurudev, the Vaishnavas, and Krishna Radha and Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I traveled with Gurudev on his tour. I met all the devotees. And like Malini Didi was saying, seeing Srila Gurudev interact with devotees is very powerful. Seeing how he would deal with the senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada, like Shamrani Didi and all of the now sannyasis. And how he would deal with his own disciples, not just his Shiksha disciples, how he would deal with his Diksha disciples. And how many disciples were from different mats, different sanghas, from Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, from Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami, Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami, so many, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Devotees from everywhere could be with Srila Gurudev. He is Bhakta Bandhav, the title given to him by Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, meaning all can take shelter of Srila Gurudev. The door is open. Non-sectarian. Non-sectarian is Vaishnavism, but sectarianism is opposed to Vaishnavism. And so Srila Gurudev had this mood. And so here we've established one temple called Bhakta Bandhav Dham. So we hope to imbibe that same mood of non-sectarianism. So ISKCON comes to this temple. Ritviks come to this temple. Devotees in all the Gaudiya mats come to this temple. Everywhere. It doesn't matter. You chant Hare Krishna, you're in Mahaprabhu's family. You don't chant Hare Krishna, but you can come here and also chant Hare Krishna. This is the mood that we want to imbibe. Open door. So with that, Srila Gurudev, he stressed something very important. Don't criticize. Don't criticize. He would often say, do not criticize. And so this is a very important instruction by Srila Gurudev. Nowadays, it's become common for people to criticize this Vaishnav, this sannyasi, this Mataji, this devotee, this brahmachari. Now it is customary to go onto the computer and type many things. But we should all know Srila Gurudev did not like this. Srila Gurudev said, if you criticize, you are not my disciple. So if you find anyone criticizing, please be very cautious. This is very dangerous. I almost fell into the trap of criticizing Vaishnavas, but Gurudev was very heavy and chastised me. Even though it might have been lighthearted, it's not lighthearted. It's very serious. Srila Gurudev was very strict on do not criticize. Srila Gurudev said don't criticize. Also, one point he stressed was Guru Nishta. Guru Nishta is the backbone of bhakti. So we should all try and develop strong faith in Guru. Strong faith in Guru. But if we criticize, we can lose that faith in Guru. So we lose our backbone in bhakti and we ultimately lose bhakti. Srila Gurudev stressed the importance of Shiksha Guru. Yes, remember, he would say, you must have Shiksha. You must always take Shiksha. People were thinking, oh, he's stressing Shiksha because he is a Shiksha Guru. No, this is eternal. Krishna has Shiksha Guru. Mahaprabhu has Shiksha Gurus. We all can have a Shiksha Guru. So we must have a Shiksha Guru. Yes, but you can have unlimited Shiksha Gurus. But one of those Shiksha Gurus should be on the same platform as Diksha. Non-different. And he said, who is this Shiksha Guru? This is the Madhyamadikari. He would have all his sannyasis stand up in Brajmandal Parikrama and describe the qualities of a Madhyamadikari. Some of them would have to be told, sit down. Gurudev was very strict. Like you were talking before with the dramas and kirtan and speaking Harikatha, Gurudev wanted it as it is. No extra, no less. As he says, you repeat. The drama should be Siddhantic, and the kirtan should be pleasurable for Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and the devotees. It should be done properly. Very strict. Gurudev was very strict. One time on Navadip Dham Parikrama, I'm playing the really big kartals. They're wampers, jampa. Big. Big size. Because with Srila Gurudev, it's an army, Sankirtan army. Many mridangas. There was 20, 30 mridangas. There was so many gongs, so much kartals. And I got the chance to play the big jampa. And I was next to Srila Gurudev, and he looked at me, and he took them from me. The big ones.
Yes.
Srila Gurudev was holding the big, heavy. They're so heavy for me. I was a young man, strong muscles. Gurudev took them from me. Madhav Maharaj is looking. Brajanath is looking. What is Srila Gurudev doing? And Gurudev showing how to play. Not straight. He said a little bit side. There should be some open. You know how there's some cup inside? That cup should show on the edge. And he played and it sounded so nice, so sweet. Compared to what I was playing, it was no good. So then I took and I showed Srila Gurudev how to play properly like he had showed me. And then he was happy. So many times I saw him take the microphone from people singing kirtan incorrectly. I saw him chastise them. Harikatha, so much chastising.
With the drama play.
Yeah, and then the drama play. So Malini Devi, Dasi, she was in so many drama plays. So many drama plays. I was in one drama play.
Was that in India or in abroad here?
It was abroad. It was here in Washington DC Festival.
Okay.
I played Roma Harshan Sutta.
Okay.
Yes. And so I was placed on the Vyasasan on stage. I was given Vesh of Roma Harshan Sutta. Big cloth. No. Then Balaram comes in the drama play. They picked one big boy, big tall boy. And in the drama play, I do not stand, and everyone else stands. And so there's an exposition about Guru Aparad, Guru Avagya, Vaishnav Aparad. So in this drama play, then Balaram cuts off my head. And then I'm dead. So the drama play ends, and Srila Gurudev says, no heartly blessings. Many drama plays, he's giving heartly blessings. But this drama play, no heartly blessings. He said many inconsistencies and many mistakes were made in this drama play. So Madhav Maharaj stands and said, tomorrow class will be 1 hour early. Be here, all devotees, 500, 600 devotees. Be here tomorrow, 1 hour early. Class will be 1 hour early tomorrow. everyone leaves, and Gurudev's car, and Govinda Damo Dadamadaveti, Govinda Damo Dadamadaveti, Govinda Damo Dadamadaveti, Govinda Damo Dadamadaveti. So Gurudev left, but I'm still there lying dead because I feel very sad. This drama play was not good. So the next day, after lunchtime prasadam, I'm chanting my 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And I'm thinking, oh, class is starting 1 hour early. I should go. So I left and I showed up to the pavilion where they were going to have Harikatha. And I was there. And then the van came, and out of it came Srila Gurudev, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj, Krishna Das, and Brajanath Prabhu. And there was me for class.
Nobody's there.
Where is 500, 600 devotees? So I start chanting Hare Krishna, because there's always kirtan when he's coming. So Gurudev looks around. Where is everyone? I said, Gurudev, I don't know, Gurudev. You said 1 hour early. He said, you are here. And he put his arm on my shoulder.
My hearty blessings.
Yeah. And he said, yesterday, who did you play? And I said, Ramaharshan Sutta. He said, was he Grihasta or was he sannyasi? And I knew he had a child, so I said he was Grihasta. He said, yes, very good, but you had wrong vesh. They had dressed me like a sannyasi with uttariya, but it was white cloth. It was white cloth, but it was sannyas vesh. And so Gurudev said, I was not happy with this. You should know all these things. What is sannyas and what is grihasta? That was my first after initiation instruction. What is sannyasi? What is grihasta? And then Gurudev sat on the Vyasasan and Krishnadas sang bhajans, and I was in the audience for class. Then later,
very special audience who has so many people to serve. Yes. Gurudev sitting there, Krishnadas singing bhajan for you.
Yes, Krishnadas singing bhajans, Madhav Maharaj Brajanath, Srila Gurudev sitting on the Vyasasan, and I am there.
Audience.
I am the audience. Yeah. It was that time I understood some things that everyone doesn't always catch what is happening. Not everyone is understanding what Srila Gurudev is saying or what are the instructions. Every year in New Braj Festival, Srila Gurudev would mention his next year's tour. And he would tell exactly where he was going. So I would take note. And the next year, devotees made plans for a festival here, a festival there. But Srila Gurudev would never go those places. He would always tell the year before where he would go. And he would never deviate from that. So people would ask, do you want an airplane ticket to Hawaii? Do you want an airplane ticket to North Carolina? Do you want an airplane ticket to Washington? And I would say, no. I already know Srila Gurudev isn't going. Hey, they have festival. Why would Srila Gurudev not go? But he would stay in Houston. He would stay in Houston. He would go San Francisco, Badger, Houston, and then fly to Europe. So Gurudev was always telling us everything. We just had to listen. You had to listen very closely. And that's why you also need Shiksha Guru. Like you were saying, Prabhu. Kartik time. Thousands and thousands of devotees. Tens of thousands. All coming. And devotees would go to the kitchen first. They're flying from Germany, Russia, England, United States, South America, Australia, Bali, everywhere. Devotees from all over the world. First, the ones who knew how to do things properly would go to the kitchen and ask Sripad Premananda Prabhu, I have this question for Srila Gurudev. Is this the correct question? This is proper. When you follow, everything becomes very easy and flowing. And Srila Prabhuji would give them instructions. Maybe you should ask this question. Is this what you actually want to ask? And then they would follow Premananda Prabhu's instruction how to discuss with Srila Gurudev. They would discuss with Srila Gurudev, After the discussion and the instruction from Srila Gurudev, they would then approach Sripad Premananda Prabhu again and then get confirmation. People would sometimes approach Srila Gurudev directly and get very confused with the instruction, and their brain would be spinning. Then they would approach Sripad Premananda Prabhu, and Prabhuji would put them back safe, explain everything, and then send them back to Srila Gurudev. Then their mind was calm and peace, and they understood everything. So I think this is the process. And when you follow the process of having any Shiksha Guru, whether it be the sannyasis in our Sangha or even high-class Vaishnavas anywhere, they can give proper instructions, but you must have a Shiksha Guru to ground you so that you can understand Diksha Guru. And they should be a high-class Shiksha Guru. Like I was saying, they should be a Madhyamadikari. Because Premananda Prabhu sent us everywhere. He went with us also to see many high-class Vaishnavas. We would go personally and take darshan of Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vigan Bharti Maharaj. So many, I could list forever. Yeah, Srila Vama Goswami, Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, and the list is very long. And at some times we'd have to keep it secret because at that time Srila Gurudev was still around. And to hear that we were going to this Vaishnav, to that Vaishnav, some criticism would come. We were going to see Srila Bhakti Vigan Bharti Maharaj long time before anyone else. Prabhuji told us he was a pure devotee. I think 2006, 2007, he was sending us to see Srila Bhakti Vigan Bharti Maharaj. To take darshan, to hear Harikatha, follow his instructions. He would send us to take darshan of Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, who was very close. Srila Gurudev had this mood also. He would send the brahmacharis to different mats. Yeah, they would serve in other mats. And in Mathura, so many. Our head pujari was from Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj. Most of the devotees were from Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. And we know with our Bhakti Vedanta Sridhar Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj is Bhakti Sri Siddhanti Maharaj. So many. So like this, Srila Gurudev had this open mood. So in my spiritual life, basically, that's what I want to have. I want to chant Hare Krishna and have an open mood and make advancement, serving devotees. That's the mood of this place, and that's the mood I'm trying to imbibe in my life, because that's what I saw with Srila Gurudev, accepting everyone and serving them. So this is what I would like to share. Stop there.
So nice, Prabhuji. I can see that you already have that mood which you're longing for. Both of you and all the devotees here have that mood. I can see it. I saw it personally today. So I'd like to talk about a few points which Malini Didi and Prabhuji made, which really touched my heart. There's some nice prasadam being cooked here, so we can hear the cooker in between. Yes, Prabhuji is doing some seva. So Malini Didi very nicely spoke that first thing which really touched my heart. You meet a Rasik Vaishnav, your whole existence changes. What a profound statement. Those who have met a Rasik Vaishnav, they would know. And those who have not, they should long very strongly for it. Because if you have longing like this, you will surely meet, like Prabhuji had in his own life. He longed to meet a Rasik Vaishnav. He prayed to Srila Prabhupada. And within a month or two, he was granted darshan of Srila Gurudev. Not only he met him, but he stayed in his house. He was very close. So all our Mahabhagavats are ready to grant us everything, provided we have the longing. And Rasik Vaishnav, Gurudev once said in his Harikatha, I think it was Sripad Ramchandra Prabhu, he was going very like in 91 or 92 that time in Mathura. He came for first or second time. He spoke this in his memories. So he came to Gurudev and he said, I'm going to do parikrama of Giriraj. He said, what are you going to ask there? He said, I'll ask for bhajan, bhakti, seva, love. So many things he listed. Then Gurudev said, if you ask for one thing, you can get everything. You know what is it? Then he gave a long story. It is a long story about elephant's feet and how benediction was asked by Shivji. He gave a big story. But the essence was, if you ask for the association of Rasik Vaishnavas, you will be granted everything. You will get bhakti, you will get love, you will get service. So the association of reciprocal action is most important in our lives. And when you meet them, your whole existence changes. This is what Didi said. Uh, uh, and it is absolutely true. Those who have met, they know how it happens. And thereafter she said, he didn't know that Gurudev would steal his heart and mine and everybody else's. Yes, he was a big thief. You won't know what he's stealing, and he will steal everything. And you don't even know that he's taken away your thoughts, your heart. And it happened to most of the people. And she very beautifully described her first darshan. How he kept looking at her with his blue eyes, and she was so shy. She was a child, and Gurudev was putting his mercy on her through his eyes. I remember him saying one time in Braj Mandal Parikrama in Govardhan, somebody was sitting besides him, not in front, and he said, "Hey, you should come sit in the front." Then he said, Guru is giving his blessing in many ways. He's giving by words, he's giving by his looks. When he glances his merciful eyes on you, you get a lot of energy and blessing. So you should not sit to side of Gurudev or behind him. He chastised someone like this, and that day or not, I always would sit in front of him, right in front, in the middle. So we should long for his merciful glance, and Didi got that in our first meeting with Srila Gurudev. So then she said, potency of Guru's glance. And this very important statement she made, he already planted the seed and I did not realize that time. He has done it to all of us. All the disciples of Gurudev, he has planted that seed, and many of us, or I would say most of us, have not realized that he has planted that seed in us. We are still wandering here and there, but the seed already is there. It is only needs to water, do some association, and it will grow into a beautiful plant and flower and fruit. Everything will come. So this is our state, most of our disciples. I'm not talking of people who are advanced, and I offer pronouns to them, but most of us, myself, we are not realized fully what seed he has given us, how it can grow. Then he stayed in their house, and it was like a sun shining and removing all darkness. See, this is the presence of Srila Gurudev, the pure devotees like this. Everything will go. Everything becomes so easy, smooth, relaxed, and all that darkness goes away. And she talked about his Harikatha and mood can be preserved. And the instruction she got, you should chant and remember highest seva. Yes. A lot of people think that I didn't get any personal instruction. I also used to think the same way, actually. Until I read a letter written by him, which he has written the same thing. You should chant, remember, do Sankirtan, 3 important instructions he has given. But they sounded so general that I thought he has not given me any instructions. But this is the highest instruction. It is not a general instruction. It is only our understanding is not there. So I understood after like 20 years that, oh my God, he has told me to do this, and this is what is meant for me. I should do this only. Because people who are not able to do this, maybe he will give them, okay, you do this seva. So it is a very high instruction. To chant and to remember is not ordinary instruction. Yeah. And I also used to think like what you used to think. Same way. Oh, he didn't tell me anything. It is a general thing we say to everyone. So it is not like this. Gurudev never says anything lightly. That's why Guru means heavy. Whatever he says has a lot of meaning, and it is meant for you. He will never give unnecessary criticism, and also he will never appreciate unnecessarily. Like we're just talking about the dramas and how it stop people and correct it. It all has a deep meaning behind everything. So and then she said, oh, this was really very beautiful. I was completely lost in him. Weeping, my whole sari was wet. I was with someone who saw me and who can take me to Krishna. Wow, what a beautiful realization. This is the faith we all should have in Krishna. This is kind of, Guru's feet is the place where we can rest ourselves, and we'll be rest assured that he will take us for sure. So this is the surrender. We should be completely lost in him. So this is how a disciple and all of us should be. And we should be completely lost in him. And we should have full faith that he is someone who will take us to Krishna. For sure, 100%. Only thing is we have to give ourselves. If we keep holding, then it is difficult for him. Still he will take. But if we are making his task difficult. Gurudev once said, even if you go to Nark by your karmas, I will go to hell and pull you out from there. So he will take you by any means because he has taken the responsibility. Guru's responsibility is huge. A disciple cannot realize, but we can make his task easily by surrendering ourselves.
Mhm.
So it is really nice. And I will see your videos or photographs that you have, Didi.
I'm
You
sorry,
have?
I don't have the capability. We have one computer. I couldn't, do all that.
Oh,
But
okay. Okay.
but any questions? Yeah, about what you were saying about my grandmother. I forgot what we were talking about.
If you want to say something, you are welcome. You can say.
I mean, just how Gurudev was so easy. He would charm everyone very easily, even someone with a little hesitation to meet him or just not open heart to him. Because my grandmother's disciple of Srila Prabhupada, her life is Srila Prabhupada. So when we went to Gurudev, she was very upset with us. And also she was in a position of power in ISKCON, so it didn't look good for her family. We were the traitors, so she couldn't understand, why did you leave and all this stuff. And we just said, please just meet Gurudev. You have to just meet him. Then you understand. And so the first time she met him was in Toronto. Gurudev said he only came to Toronto to see my grandmother. Can you imagine? He only went once, and it was a very small program. It wasn't very big thing.
Where did you stay? With your mother? In her
No,
house?
he stayed at one Prabhupada disciples, I believe, Shashvata Prabhu.
Oh, I know Shashwat Prabhu. Yes, yes.
Yeah, he stayed there in the farm area just for like a few days. But my grandmother, she made Prabhupada cookies. Prabhupada would distribute these cookies. So
Yes,
she made
yes.
those for
Oh,
Srila Gurudev. And the minute she came in to see him, she was weeping. Because Gurudev would give a few sweet words and just her whole heart melted immediately. So this is like the power of Gurudev. He would break walls, just with his sweet words and charm. I know some of my god sisters and friends, they came to check Gurudev in a judgmental way, not coming to take shelter, but who is this Narayan Maharaj? And just within 1 day, 2 days, he would melt them and they were already taking Harinam right away. So he would do
yes.
this all the time.
That is the power of a pure Vaishnav. That's why they say you should go to a pure Vaishnav, whatever mood you have, regardless. Even if you have offensive mood, bad mood, good mood, want to check him out, want to test him, go. But once you go, you will forget everything. He will capture you because he has that power. But if you don't go in front of him, then what? Then you'll not receive anything. So we need to present ourselves to Vaishnav. Another very important thing what Didi said just now, until we meet a Vaishnav, we have a lot of ideas about him. Like even now, people have different groups like Premanand Prabhu, this Maharaj, that Maharaj. So normally, generally, people don't go and interact with each other groups, but we have ideas of our own. But when we go and meet them, it is totally removed and we feel so good. So we should try to honor all Vaishnavas, whichever group they are, because like our Gurudev was never sectarian. He would invite everybody. So we should also follow his mood and we should respect all groups. It's good, okay to be in groups because eventually it is Mahaprabhu's group and it is doing teaching. So it is fine. It is different, but we should have good feeling and ideas about other groups, and we should have good respect for them. We should not have negative feelings or bad feelings. And if you are having, then we should go and do our pranams to that Vaishnav. It will go because that Vaishnav he's got power like Gurudev. So I remember a very interesting incident about her grandmother, which happened with me personally. I think 5-10 years back, we were in Toronto and we thought we'll visit the temple, Toronto temple. She was the president at that time, her grandmother, Subudhi Mataji. I had no idea about who is the president and who is there. We just went to see the deities and offer pranams and be with some devotees and have some prasad. Because there was no Sangha there in Toronto. So me and my wife, we went there. I think kids were also there. Somebody asked us in the group, who is your guru? I didn't know anything. I said, my guru is Sripad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I said like this. And he was not very happy. And then suddenly somebody comes and asks me to come out. Me and my wife. I think her grandmother, she took me to her office and she said, I respect Narayan Maharaj, he's very nice, but don't tell anyone here. I said, well, okay. He said, I know he's very powerful. Even my son is going to see him all the time. He's in California somewhere. She said, I don't know. So I really liked how she called us to her office and talked to us about Maharaj and about her own son. So this is how our Gurudev is. He is merciful to everyone. Even all ISKCON members, he is merciful all the time. He was, he is, and he will be, because he got orders from Prabhupada and he simply followed his orders to do good to everybody. He came to all of us. But some of us did not understand him. It is our shortcoming. But he is still merciful and he wants good for everyone.
Yes,
So,
he wants.
Yes.
Well, this is the mood of this place that we hope to have, and I don't know if we can speak a little bit about this ashram. Would be nice.
Yes, yes. Say something about. I will show the pictures at the end. I have taken some pictures this morning.
Oh, okay.
But you can say something about the ashram, how it came into being, whose idea was it, and how you were guided, and how this beautiful deities. Or I will show the picture and you can speak. Wait, I will just share the pictures.
Okay. Also, Jagdish Prabhu found this YouTube link of my drama play Gopi Geet. It's in the chat, but we don't have to play that.
I will play. So this is the deities here. Yes.
Yes, this is Radha Manju in Seva Kunj. Oh, they're so beautiful. So just like Gurudev asked Shamarani Didi, can you paint my heart? Then she painted Seva Kunj, Radha Krishna sitting on a singhasan, accompanied by the Gopi associates. Now this ashram, actually, before I speak more about the Didis, this ashram, we bought this property in the summertime of 2020, and we moved in here October 2020 during the pandemic. Something crazy, you would say, why would you start such a big project when everything is locked down? There's no guarantee about anything, you know? But this was the inspiration of Srila Gurudev, actually, through Premananda Prabhu, to have a center here in the Northeast. Gurudev's never had a temple in this area of America. And in New York itself, this is the first place Srila Prabhupada started the Hare Krishna movement in the West. So it's a tirtha. If you go to New York City, he's been everywhere in that place, that area. And many devotees there, they'll show you, he stayed in this apartment, he was here, there's the storefront. It's a tirtha. And so with that mood of wanting to take the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and you know, because there's a fear for some of us Gurudev disciples that Gurudev's legacy will go down, that people will not hear his Harikatha if his disciples do not take some responsibility. Because sometimes it's always, oh, the sannyasis will preserve. But time is running and we must engage ourselves. And Gurudev told many of us at a young age, you must, take brahmacharya, you must preach around the world. He gave many of us as children instructions. So Premananda Prabhu sent 2 brahmacharis here who grew up in New Braj, Prem Pradeep Prabhu and Rasik Mohan Prabhu, who again saw Gurudev as babies, as children, and they became brahmachari and lived in the mutt for many, many years. And they were sent here to make a temple for Srila Gurudev. And so they came and we joined them during the pandemic. And slowly it grew very fast. Just like this. You could not imagine. There was a Ritvik farm 40 minutes from us. And one Punjabi farmer, I said, okay, I'll just say Hare Krishna and try to keep that mood of sweetness, And he's a very simple farmer, actually. And so he would give us chugandar and neem leaves and methi leaves and karela, so many vegetables, ginger, chili, for free.
Loki.
And then nariyal, and we would have everything, mango, everything. We would get so much. And I was thinking, wow, Gurudev is arranging everything. We're not doing anything. And then also we would invite devotees, just kindly, please come. And many ISKCON devotees have come here already, so many. Many of my friends who I used to know as children, and I didn't talk to much for a long time, they're all coming now. They all want to know the glories of Gurudev. Their hearts are opening more. And because we tried to keep a mood of friendship, not like, oh, we're better, we met Mahabhagavat, you're not so good. We don't have this mood. Everyone, Gurudev is Jagat Guru. He can be Shiksha Guru for everyone now. Anybody can take shelter of him even now. So we, in this friendship mood, Bhakta Bandhav, we've had so much success in building relationships with everyone here in New York and in America, and we hope, expanding to be a retreat center, festival place, to have many Harikatha festivals and Kirtan festivals for devotees, japa retreats, and also preach to new people, because that's also a thing. Even in ISKCON, they struggle in the West. There's many devotees, but what about new? There's not a lot of preaching going on. And Mahaprabhu's movement wants more people to join the Sankirtan movement. So that is our big mission, is actually to spread this mission more to more jivas as best as we can. And of course, Gurudeva is doing everything. We are just trying to be an instrument, and we're involved in many projects. We're doing book publication here. All of Gurudev's lectures from his Western tour we are transcribing. So we've already printed 1996 and 1997, all his lectures. So you can find that. I can, give Prabhuji information on that. You can share and people can have access. And if people want to translate it into Hindi, of course, it's gems and gems, because Gurudev came with a certain mood to the West. So his Harikatha is very special. In India it's very special, and then it's a different rasa, different flavor, because he was meeting with Prabhupada disciples who were weeping for so long, waiting for watering in their hearts. So such nice Harikatha. We're working on the books. And then, of course, as you see, Thakurji has come. They came last Kartik. This is Seva Kunj, and there's many beautiful stories of Seva Kunj. And I was telling Prabhuji, this is actually Radharaman, and on the right of Radharani is Lalita Devi, left is Vishaka Devi, and then on the far right, Rupa Manjari, and the far left, Rati Manjari. And this specific pastime is a little different from the pastime we normally hear of Seva Kunj. This pastime is Krishna begging. This called Beggar of Prem. Gurudev would speak about this, and this was a drama play also. Begging for, please, I want to understand your love and your bhav, and please let me borrow it. And this is coming into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form, and this is why Radharaman, Krishna is golden. He's not Sham Varna. So this is a special form, roop of Seva Kunj, and we're so lucky we get to serve them. I'm the pujari, many pujaris here, but I do the shringar and do all the head pujari stuff. Very fortunate. I don't know, I'm not qualified, but I'm very lucky.
Yes, it is really very beautiful. Anybody who's coming to America around New York, they must visit. I came yesterday and I can describe. It is very, very nice. I came at night around 9 o'clock. I didn't know how to enter. I couldn't find the gate, but I drove a little ahead and I saw two Radha pillars there. Very beautifully Radha written there. So I know this is the place. When I came inside, they have 4 big buildings and they are renovating. And I'm very, very lucky to be the first guest in the renovated building. They told me. The building is newly renovated, very nicely done. 2 separate rooms with a kitchen also inside. And it is very good facilities here and very quiet place. It's a 50-acre property with lakes and also waterfalls, which we are yet to see. Maybe today we'll go. But it's a lovely place to do retreats and maybe weekly programs, weekend programs, like Didi was saying, to call new people and organize a program for new people, for experienced people. All sort of things can be done here, for kids, for ladies, for men, for old people. Various programs can be organized, and the Thakurji is out of the world. I think in the whole world, you will not see Krishna sitting anywhere except in Puri Dham. You have Gopinath. He's the only place he's sitting. And this is probably the second place I've seen where he's sitting with Radharani. He's not standing.
But this goes to show this is Gurudev's special mood, because always you see Krishna standing, but Gurudev's favorite form of Krishna is Krishna in submission to Radharani. This is his favorite. He doesn't like...
This you will not get anywhere in the world. Gurudev's special mood, like Didi is saying, where Krishna is doing service to Radharani. And it is really beautiful to see all the Sakhis and Manjaris, and also Gurudev on the sides.
And
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada and our Gurudev sitting there, and it is so real, especially the eyes today I saw while doing Aarti. It was piercing into your heart. Very blue eyes like arrows. Very nice vigraha, very beautiful. All must come. I think all Gurudev disciples must come here and have a look. It cannot be
Yes.
explained by words. You have to see it, you know it, how nice it is. And not only vigraha, but the process they follow here, Jagdish Prabhu under his guidance, and also I've yet to meet Rasik Mohan Prabhu. He is the main person who has done all this, and also Jagdish Prabhu. They do it really very beautifully. The Mangal Arti, the Stutis, the Shloks, they sing in a very nice tone and very nice mood. Also, the Harikatha after that was amazing. They were reading Bill Mangal's books, so nice. I mean, I've never read that book myself, and such beautiful thoughts were inside. And everybody reads one by one. Prabhuji will come. I'll hear some Harikatha also if I'm lucky to hear
Yeah.
from him. But one thing is for sure, this place should not be missed. If you're coming to America, you have to come here. It is lovely. I'm so happy, and I really thank my daughter for it, Radhika. She made me come here. It was not my plan. She had a 7 days leave, and she decided that I should go someplace where we can do some bhajan. This was the nearest place to us, only 7 hours drive. So we drove here yesterday. So I thank her also. And Radhika, do you want to show the property around? Do you hear me? One sec. Maybe you can get some more, and you can see some more by Radhika can show.
I'm
There's-
translating.
Radhika, are you translating? It's okay. Now you can
Yeah.
show some part of the temple here and there so that people know how this kind of property is.
Uh,
You can walk with your phone.
okay. One second. On the left. And the live translation then.
Maybe I have some photos that I
Yeah,
can
share some
share.
for you. Wait, I'll make you. You can share them. I'll make
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, here.
I don't know how to. Yeah. But then how do I share it?
I'll have to make you co-host. Wait, you can share
Okay.
them. Yes, now you can share.
No, he's gonna have it, and I'm gonna
Yep, I
actually.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, now you can share.
Okay, give me. I need 1 second. I was gonna say thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming. Also, because for us as devotees, this is success when we get to serve devotees. And you are so senior. We're so happy to be able to have your.
And I forgot to tell about the nice prasadam here. While all this program was going on, you could hear some sound. Our lovely Prabhuji here making very nice prasadam. And this morning we had lovely prasadam. Super, very nice prasadam. So it's a really good place to be.
I'm looking for this. There we go. It's coming. It's loading. Aha. Okay. I want to show a little bit of our Kirtan festival and our property.
Yes.
So many pictures. I'm sorry. I'm not so prepared. This was.
That's okay.
Okay.
There it is. Right up.
Okay. This just, I want to show you, this is a Kirtan festival. Let me see if I can share from coming down. How do I get, can you bring the mouse back down here? No, I don't need the thing. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if I can do, okay, here. So I'm going to share. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. Can you bring the mouse back?
You just go to this edge.
Okay. Okay, so this is just showing, this was a big Kirtan festival. We had many ISKCON youth and ourselves, Thakur Prabhu, if you know, Rasika, these are all wonderful Kirtaniyas who have sung for Srila Gurudev, and just so much. We have Vaikanas Maharaj, he was there. Let me show.
Okay.
No, 1 second. So we have this outdoor area, very nice. People can sit down and take
Wow.
prasad in the summertime. And we have like, this is beautiful. Everyone, so many nice devotees that came and visited. The prasadam, we had so many nice devotees. Pizza, stuffed
Wow.
karela, you have no idea. So, look at this. Such nice prasad all the
Oh,
time.
yes.
But let me show a little bit of the property. There's just so many photos. It's hard to find everything. Okay, yeah, this is our waterfall. This is the boys taking snan.
Oh, wow.
But we have a beautiful waterfall nearby. very fresh, clean water. And we also have beautiful green lawns, this area. This is when we're bringing Gurudev and Prabhupada into the pandal.
Yes.
And this is before our temple was even renovated. We only did
This
outdoor.
was in 2020, 21? When was it?
21, yeah.
September.
Yeah, 2021. And let's see. Oh, here's another. See, nighttime, all the prasad, very nice
Oh,
atmosphere at night.
wow.
The devotees. And then this is our pandal we had with our Kirtan festival. Many
So beautifully
devotees.
decorated.
Yeah. So we have, I think that's it. We have a lake. If I'm able to find the lake. Here's the construction. You can see we did everything by hand. This was completely redone. This old barn was full of junk. Okay.
So this is all made by the devotees, right?
Yes, it was an old building on the property, and we decided to renovate it to make it our temple. And it took about a year, and we opened it on Gaur Purnima this year. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll show you a little bit about the original building. I'm going to show you now how it looks. You saw how it was under construction. Prabhuji showed the Didis, but I'll show this is the temple space. You can see it's completely different now with hardwood floors and an altar. It was completely broken. There was a hole in the ground. It was completely in disrepair. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Didi. So today we will stop the program here, and I offer my pranams to Jagdish Prabhuji, Malini Didi, also all their Sangha, all the devotees who are here, who are doing such wonderful service. Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. And I'm really very fortunate to be here in their company for a few days. And for all my pranams to all the viewers also who are hearing and who are going to hear later on Facebook and YouTube. And I offer pranams to all our Guru Parampara. Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Gaur Bhakt Vrind ki jai, Shri Harinam Kirtan ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
Gaur Premanande.
Dandat pranams to everyone.